Hey, this is Dustin Neely from Church Planning for the Rest of Us, and I wanted to do a quick post today to talk briefly about the differences between the iPad 1 and the iPad 2 from my perspective. We have got access to both of these, and so we're checking them out. The iPad 1 is what I rock all the time. I love this thing, but we also got a hold of an iPad 2 just to test it out and see what we think. And I think by and large, if I could give it to you in a sentence, I think the iPad 2 is impressive. But it is maybe not earth-shatteringly impressive. It is definitely faster. You can decide how fast you think it is, but there is a marked difference between web speed. There's a marked difference between kind of stability in your apps. Things run smoother when you turn pages in iBooks, Kindle, so on and so forth. So those are definite upgrades. Other upgrades would be, it does have a forward-facing camera. That's not news. It does have a rear-facing camera that also does HD video. To be honest with you, the forward-facing camera is horrible. It's basically like your computer webcam from a few years ago. I mean, it's really grainy, but if you want to do FaceTime, and that's important, and it is for a lot of people who travel and that kind of stuff, it gets the job done. Now, as far as the rear-facing camera, people have taken a lot of shots at that. I definitely wouldn't take still shots with it. I mean, you got your iPhone, most of you, so I would definitely go that way. But, I mean, it will do it. But as far as video goes, it's actually not that horrible. I mean, it looks pretty comparable, a little bit more grainy, but pretty comparable to the camera on my phone. I personally, I got an iPhone 4, I would just stick with that video camera because it's small, and doing this is a little bit like you're trying to drive a bad school bus or something, so it's not the greatest thing to shoot video on, but you can do it. But I think that the real helpful thing for me is this actually, the iPad 2 will actually allow you to edit video. Now, you can edit iMovie video on your phone, but you can't do it on the iMovie 1. And since I'm doing a lot of these videos, that is kind of a selling point to me and something that I'm weighing of, you know, do we really need to invest in one of these because this is a big help. Now, the way that you do this is tricky, and I'll do another post later talking about how you do it because it does not do it natively. You need a little workaround, but iMovie does work, and it works well on the iPad 2, whereas it doesn't work at all on the iPad 1. So I think really, honestly, the thing you've got to work through is, okay, it is better, it is thinner, people talked about that, it's faster, all those things, but is it really worth dropping iPad 1 and running out and getting iPad 2? You got to figure that out for yourself. And some guys will say yes, other guys will say no, and hopefully most people, and hopefully all people, will approach it as a prayerful consideration and really asking this question, is it worth the cost for these benefits that I'm going to receive?